The lovely Crystal Shawanda, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful, thank you.
Awesome. You know, I had a chance to interview you a couple of years ago. You were doing the whole APTN Live deal up in Whitehorse. You enjoy performing, and it shows on stage.
I do. That's my favorite part. I do everything else just so I can do that. For me, it's the connection with the people. Like, I can feel their energy, and I totally feed off of it, and that's what it's all about for me.
Let's talk about your new album. Changing from, I guess, maybe not changing, but maybe growing from blues music or from country to blues music. Tell us about your new album.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. It's just been a really natural evolution. I think ever since I was a kid, people have been telling me, you have a really bluesy, soulful voice, and you know, so I just felt like I needed to, you know, maybe just embrace that and see where it takes me, you know, and it's a part of my voice that you know, I've kind of been holding back, and so through this album, I've really just kind of set my voice free, and it's just been a lot of fun.
Yeah, of course, it's called The Whole World's Got the Blues. Tell us about what folks can expect to hear on that album.
The album's a little bit of everything. You know, the title track was actually the very first song that I wrote for the album. It's funny, I was actually in the middle of recording my third country album, and we'd already spent a lot of money on it, and I was halfway through, and I don't know, it felt like musically it didn't feel right. It felt like I was chasing something that I wasn't, and I didn't like that, so I felt like I needed to just step away from the studio, so we took a few weeks off, and one day I was just at home watching the news, and I was just kind of overwhelmed by everything going on in the world, and I just walked into my music room, picked up my guitar, and literally wrote the song The Whole World's Got the Blues, and it just fell out of me, and it was the fastest that I've wrote a song in a long time, and it just kind of surprised me. This song was the inspiration to the whole album. It was kind of like, you know, telling me this is where I needed to go, and so the whole album kind of has that theme. You know, there's those songs that, you know, are gut-wrenching, you know, blues songs like Cry Out for More, and where you could feel the pain, and then there's love songs like I'll Always Love You, and then there's songs like Falling from Grace and I'm Not Your Baby that make you want to dance and turn up the radio and drive really fast, and and then there's songs about like The Whole World's Got the Blues and Pray Sisters and Blue Train, which are songs about my perspective as an Aboriginal woman in this current day, and my fears for our youth and for the future of the whole world, you know, of how things are going, and so but it has that common theme of, you know, the whole world's got the blues, but the human spirit is resilient, and we'll get through it just like we always do.
You're talking about growing up an Aboriginal woman. Tell us about your childhood and how you got introduced into music.
My childhood is, you know, just growing up on a reserve like a lot of other reserves, and that atmosphere of, you know, where everybody knows each other and everybody knows each other's business, whether you want them to or not. And, you know, it's like a big extended family, you know, like sometimes we all get along and sometimes there's drama, and, you know, but when it comes down to it, we're all connected. We're all connected because we all have had similar experiences, you know, like speaks to like. And so for me, music was a common thing within my family and in my community. Like, my dad was a closet singer and guitar picker, and my mom was always singing along to records and cranking them up loud. And when we would clean up the house together as a family or do chores, they would always play the music really loud, and we'd all sing along. So to me, singing and music was a very natural thing. And even within my community, it's like everybody knows how to play guitar and everybody knows how to sing. And so there's a lot of talented people there. So for me, it just seemed really natural.
One of your tracks on your brand new album is called What You Gonna Do About Me. It's basically a cover from Buddy Guy. Tell us about that song.
Yeah, this is, you know, when I decided that I wanted to do the blues, you know, I've already been familiar with it for a long time. When I was a kid, my oldest brother used to crank a lot of Muddy Waters and B.B. King, Etta James, and so for me, I felt like if I was going to do this, I want to do it the right way. So I started digging into, you know, not just old blues, but current blues, and Buddy Guy had did this song with Beth Hart, and I just love Beth Hart. I'm a huge fan. And so when I heard this song, I just loved it so much, I just wanted to make it mine.
Right on. Your new song that we've, I think it's been, 2 weeks now since we started playing it. Pray Sister Pray. What a powerful song.
Thank you. This song was, I wrote it for the missing and murdered Aboriginal women across Canada, and I actually didn't set out to write it. Like, I wasn't like, I'm going to write a song about the subject. For me, it happened really organically. I was actually following, I'm always on the road, so I'm always on Facebook, Twitter, that sort of thing. And I was following one story about a girl who had gone missing through a 6 to 8 month period. And every once in a while, I'd see updates on Facebook about new leads, evidence, that sort of thing. And so I would click on it and read the story, and I started getting really connected to it emotionally. I don't know why particular this story, I guess because she had a little girl at home waiting. And then it was right around when I won the Junos, and it was the next day after, and I was getting picked up by a lady who was a native organizer for an event I did, and she picked me up, and her little girl was sitting in the back seat, and she said, "Oh, I'm so sorry I couldn't get a babysitter for my daughter." I was like, "That's fine," and I said, "I love kids," so I got in, and the little girl's name was Billy Rose. And I sat there and I was looking at my phone, and then all of a sudden I saw an update on the girl I'd been keeping track of, and they had found her remains. And this cold chill just ran through my body, and I just felt this sudden fear for this little girl beside me who I didn't even know. I felt scared for her future, and I felt like, in that moment, I honestly felt like somebody was hunting my sisters. And I have a niece at home the same size as that girl, and I found myself, I've always been someone who's encouraged young girls, don't be afraid to leave home and go get educated, chase your dreams, go out in the world, live. But for the first time, I found myself thinking, I hope my niece never leaves the reserve, because in that moment, I honestly felt like she would be safer there. But that just made me angry. And it shouldn't be like that. We shouldn't be afraid. We shouldn't shrink away. And so that's what this song is about, is calling out to my sisters that we reclaim our strength and raise our voices and, be louder than ever.
Last year's I'll Know More, you played a big part in that as well. You released the song, Not Without a Fight, popular song. Tell us about that song as well.
Oh, yeah. Not Without a Fight. We actually didn't even really release it on an album. It was a song that I wrote, and for me, I always say, like, I don't necessarily stand with, one political view or one group. For me, I stand with the people and for the people. And so that's what that song is about. I've been in that position where you need to be motivated. You need to fight for what you believe in. And that's what that song was about. And we did the video, and, it was really about raising awareness about, these voices that needed to be heard, and about the land and about Mother Earth and that sort of thing. Just trying to do what I can to bring attention to something that people need to be more aware of.
We got Crystal Shawanda in the studio. Crystal's performing tonight in Edmonton. Mercury Room, 10575 114th Street. You excited for that show tonight?
Yes, I am. We're doing a intimate acoustic show, and we'll be playing all new songs from the new album. And so it's a new show. So it's awesome. It's a little bit of storytelling. I kind of talk about the songs and that sort of thing. And so it'll be me and my partner in crime, D. Wayne Strobel. And we're excited. We got some good friends coming out tonight, and some family, and new friends and old friends. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a blast.
And $10 for tickets. Steal of a deal.
Yeah, absolutely. It's $10. And we got other great musicians coming up right before us. So you want to get there early. The doors open at 7. And come on out and support some local music.
Before we hear your latest song, I like to do a little thing on my show, 5 questions. You up for that?
Yeah, sure. I'm a little slow, but okay.
Name 5 songs in your iPod.
Oh, my God. 5 songs on my iPod. Okay. At Last, Etta James. What You Gonna Do About Me, Buddy Guy. Guitars and Cadillacs, Dwight Yoakam. I'm All About the Bass, Meghan Trainor. Little Wing, Jimi Hendrix.
Nice little variety there.
Yeah, I'm a little bit of everything, all rolled into one.
Favorite choice of beverage to relax with?
To relax with?
Yeah. After a long, hard day of recording, what do you want to go home to?
Water.
Yeah?
No, just kidding.
Water?
Real boring. No, I'm just kidding. No, once in a while, I like to have me a grown-up beverage. I like to have me a glass of Grey Goose and cranberry juice, but I don't make it a habit. For me, at the end of the day, usually I like me a glass of ginger ale, and I go to bed because I'm responsible and old. No, just kidding.
If you can be a Disney character, who would you be and why?
Oh, if I was a Disney character, Little Mermaid, because it would just be so cool to live in the ocean.
Most of us have a very embarrassing moment that we lived with and we laugh back at now. what would be an embarrassing moment for you?
Probably, I have a lot of them, but probably when I was a kid and I was just starting to do the singing contest rounds, and I would go to singing contest galore. I was drinking a lot of 7-Up because I was really nervous, and then I was on stage and I had already won, but I was going up to do my victory song, and I went to go sing and a burp came out. So I think I was like 10 or something like that.
What's your favorite indoor or outdoor activity?
Swimming in an indoor pool or in a beach. That's my favorite thing to do.
Crystal Shawanda performing tonight, Mercury Room, 10575 114th Street. 7 o'clock, doors open?
Yes, 7 o'clock, doors open, and lots of great music, and I hit the stage around 9:30, I believe.
Now, before we get into your newest song, your mom did a little brief cameo in your latest song, Pray Sister Pray. Tell us about that.
Yeah, she did. I had to talk her into it. My mom is very, shy and private. But once you get to know her, she's loud and funny. But I just told her, just pray from your heart. I want you to pray like you're praying for your daughter, like for those people. Think about those people's daughters and all the families who are worried about them. And so she just did it she definitely got lost in a moment. But for me, it was special to have my mom a part of it because she's been a huge rock for me, and she's, my everything. So every day I call her, like every single day, and she's always guiding me. She's like my North Star. And so I felt like she's a very powerful woman, very spiritual, whether she owns up to that or not, but she is. And so I really wanted her a part of this. And then I also had a friend of mine who was a positive role model in my life, who's a jingle dress dancer, dance, and we had that tucked into the track as well. So it was really neat to have these ladies a part of this project.
The first time she heard it, how was she feeling?
Oh, she was really emotional and quiet and shy. I think I don't know why, but she always has this thing like, oh, I don't want nobody's going to make fun of you. Why would anybody make fun of you? But that's just how she is. She gets a little shy.
Loving the new album. Make sure you go out and get it. The whole world's got the blues. Crystal Shawanda, an honor finally meeting you.
Thank you.
This is her brand new single, and Pray Sister Pray on CFWA.